Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this rustic home sign. I'm going to use my Cricut machine to cut out my stencil, and as you can see, I'm just taking my material and just prepping it. Don't worry, if you don't have a Cricut, you can go to your local craft store and pick out a letter stencil. You just want to make sure that you pick one that is big enough that it's going to fill your wood palette. So here's my stencil, it's already cut, and I'm just going to take a look at it to make sure it looks good, and then I'm going to take my tool and I'm going to remove the letters. Here I'm placing the stencil onto the piece of wood. I do notice that this Cricut stencil is a little bit trickier to work with, so this part of the project takes the longest. Now I'm taking my tool here and smoothing it out to make sure there are no air bubbles and making sure that it is secure to the piece of wood. This way when we're painting, the paint doesn't bleed through or seep underneath the stencil. Now that I have my stencil nicely placed onto the wood, I'm going to take my acrylic paint and a makeup sponge, and I'm going to put a little bit of the paint onto the sponge and apply it over the stencil. And you're probably wondering why I'm using a makeup sponge instead of a paintbrush or a foam brush. I've learned that using a makeup sponge actually is a lot easier to work with, and it'll give it a even coverage, so give it a try. Now that the paint is dry, I'm just carefully pulling back my stencil and removing it. You don't want to pull it too quick or too hard because you don't want to remove any paint and you don't want it to take away some of the wood. So just be gentle when you're removing your stencil. Now I'm just taking some sandpaper and I'm going to clean up some of the paint. If you like a more rustic look, then you can skip this step. I actually like the clean, crisp look, so I'm just taking my sandpaper here and cleaning up some of the paint or some of the mess that I made. Finally, here is the finished product, guys. Wasn't that easy? All you need is a piece of wood, paint, and a stencil, and you're good to go. And you can make this lovely rustic home sign. Give it a try and let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.